तो मैंने कहा चलो बूढ़े होके के तब टाइम आएगा. माय वाइफ आस्क्ड मी, आई मीन इतनी मोटी बुक है, आर यू गोइंग टू रीड इट और नॉट? मैंने कहा ये सब बूढ़े होने के लिए है. मैंने महाराज की 2-3 बुक्स और भी रखी है. मैंने कहा मैं सारी बुक्स इकट्ठी कर रहा हूँ साइन करके, तब मुझे याद आएगी और तब मैं पढ़ूंगा. तो व्हेन वी स्टार्टेड रीडिंग दिस बुक, प्रभु, दिस इज अ नेक्टर इन इटसेल्फ, प्रभु. So it's just like extension of Bhagavatam in practice.
You brought a very good point about बूढ़ा हो जाऊंगा तो पढ़ूंगा. The thing is, Prabhu, when we become old, we will get the time, but I'm not sure if we'll have the eyesight to read or the memory to assimilate it, So better that we do it early, Kaumara Machret Prajna, So very sweet, really. And yeah, so I just reached Baroda just in the afternoon because I have my work so tight that I cannot take a longer ride, So from here I have to go to Mumbai. So my so bad the calls are that the manager is openly asking. I told him actually my wisdom tooth after it was removed, the root it got stuck actually. So some part of it. So what happened is a small piece was still there and it was touching my tongue on the side and it was scratching that place. So it was paining always. I somehow tolerated it. The devotee who did the surgery, she said that not the devotee in the hospital, one other surgeon came and did the tooth removal. So they said that we'll have to do resurgery, open it again and remove it. It's something which is we have to do it carefully. So you come back to Bangalore and you do it. But when will I go back to Bangalore? I don't know. So I kind of thought it's okay. But what happened was in the process of eating, one molar tooth is also gone, wisdom tooth is also gone. So it was difficult to eat. So when I was eating, or I was saliva was touching that like this shape was there. The middle part was gone. It just broke off in that thing. So both sides it was like very sharp needle kind of a thing. So it was like this and it was scratching my tongue like anything. And on that day when I was doing chanting in Somnath temple in the morning, blood was coming from the tongue and I couldn't chant also. But I bore it and I was chanting because otherwise, what is the point in chanting? In the mind, we cannot chant. So it was very painful that the two needles like that was piercing. And I was not sure what to do. So from Somnath, I left by lunchtime, and then I was rushing to back to Rajkot so that I can at least take some what do you call that? Some medicine, some ointment or something for that. But it was so sharp, very tiny, like that acupuncture needles, no? Like that, it was there. It was piercing continuously when I couldn't talk at all. Then I just said, forget about all the surgery and then used my hand only to break that piece, two pieces and took it out. Blood was coming. I just drank some water and then forget about this nonsense. Now, now I have to go still and check out what's really pending, but at least I'm able to talk now. So this kind of things keep coming. And but then when I came here, I saw that Prabhuji had already inspired by Prabhuji doesn't have time to join all the time our sessions, but he has this offline. So he was so inspired that he went to Mumbai this weekend and got the book from Chowpatty. So I didn't have a plan to have the session today because I thought it would be too hectic and for everyone. And I was also busy with office calls until now. But he showed the book and immediately I thought, okay, let's just do it. And it's a surprise, half an hour time only we gap and most of the devotees have joined again. Thank you so much. And of course, my humble obeisance to each one of you, Prabhu's Matajis, for all your wishes and prayers. Because of your prayers only I could tolerate all the challenges, pains, whatever, and still continue on. So it's Krishna's arrangement. That's it brings all these tests, everything. So I really relished all your thing, but only thing is I don't deserve any of it. But I felt that, because we have taken shelter of pure devotees, they are bringing us all together, and we have to offer our heartfelt gratitude to all our spiritual masters, Srila Prabhupada and our acharyas, for having this pure association, isn't it? It's so pure. That's why it's really very it's really very pleasing. So without taking much time, we will read further from this where we left on, right? Uh, this is our Dr. Patel's Leela going on, correct? Gaurav Prabhu has just moved out. Okay. So,
yes,
Yes,
Prabhu. Patel.
we'll say Prabhupada's pranams and then start. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Patta Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidhinamne Namaste Saraswati Vedauravani Vicharane Nirvisheshanyavadi Paschata Deshatarne Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Chadvaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna. So that it's a very interesting thing, right? Srila Prabhupada himself perfectly demonstrated the principle of Yukta Vairagya. He carefully maintained whatever Krishna sent him, and he engaged not only anything and everything, but also everyone in Krishna's service, including Dr. Patel. That Dr. Patel is a funny character, isn't it? He really enjoyed his. Yeah, it's really wonderful the way Dr. Patel, how Prabhupada dealt with Dr. Patel. That line is really interesting, no? In the verse, the page number 249, if you see, Tamal Krishna Maharaj is asking in the beginning of that page, Srila Prabhupada, why do you do it? Why do you put up with him? He is so offensive. And then what does he say? As a response to
It is
that?
our service.
Yes,
It is our
Mataji.
duty to engage everyone.
Yeah,
It is
so
our duty to
amazing.
engage everyone.
Isn't it amazing how Prabhupada is
Yes.
really is showing us something very, very beautiful thing. That even if someone who is not favorably disposed, they should also be engaged. Okay, so we will continue from where we left in, from page number 251. On March 26th, right? That is what we should do.
This
Is it right?
251, Prabhu.
Yeah, but which
The
around this?
the highest conception of renunciation or detachment. Anasakya Vishaya.
Anasaktasya Vishayan, yes. Yeah, we will read from there. Anasaktasya Vishayan, Yatarham Poinjataha. That up to that, including Dr. Patel, we read, I think. Now, around this time, from there, we should start.
Yeah, Prabhu. Shall I read,
Around
Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, Prabhu, continue. Yeah.
Prabhuji, around from around this time we have to start.
From around this time, yes, that's all. Prabhu, can you maximize it a little bit? Zoom it a little bit. Gaurav Prabhu. Around this time, yes. Yes, Prabhu.
Shall I
Yes,
read?
Kamal. Yes, please.
Around this time, the Illustrated Weekly of India carried an article by Agehananda Bharati, an Austrian-born Indologist and Advaitan sannyasi, under the title Hare Krishna versus Shiva Shiva. In the article, Bharati gave his version of a series of exchanges and debates he had with Swami Hridayananda of ISKCON. I shared my impression with Prabhupada that the weekly's editor Kushwant Singh had run the piece along with the title to make us all believe in general, luxury, bickering over deities and evidence. Prabhupada agreed with my assessment. Yes, he said, Bharati is a fool, but Singh is a demon.
Yeah, this Kushwant Singh is a very notorious writer. You might have known that, right?
Yes,
He writes
Prabhu.
all obnoxious things he writes. So, but Prabhupada doesn't care, because one thing about these people know, Prabhu's Matajis, if you see, they were all gone into oblivion. Who is reading Kushwant Singh's writings now? Who is celebrating his? Is anyone celebrating his Vyas Puja? Is anyone doing lighting lamp for him? Right? Prabhupada
but
knew
one
that. Sorry, Prabhu.
So, but one unfortunate thing is, Prabhu, when we were in 12th class, we had this story, The Mark of Vishnu by Khushwant Singh.
The mark of
So, Vishnu, he had
uh-huh.
that story wherein a boy, actually he serves, I mean, he used to have this mark of Vishnu on his forehead, and then he used to serve a snake, and then, I mean, one day he was serving milk to the snake, and then snake bit him on the forehead, and then he was basically trying to, I mean, make mockery of whatever values and traditions that we follow. And this chapter is, I don't know whether it is there in NCRT book now, but that was, at our time, it was there in English textbook.
Yeah. I don't know about when we were there, but then later it might have been introduced. He's a very notorious and obnoxious man. I think when he was very old, he married on young girl or something. So totally all irregulatory principles we was relishing them all. So these people, Prabhupada, sometimes what happens is sometimes he would really fight, especially with that Harinam is a nuisance. How he went on and on with that commissioner's thing, right? So when he went on with that, he knew which one to take on and which one to just sidestep. This guy is no use. There's no point fighting this kind of a demon. So he just by as a matter of fact, he'll just say and move on. But when the police commissioner said, because they are in the political, they are in the administration. So he was trying to show to the people that how even people in the administrative people are like they are creating this kind of a impression in the public, then our culture will be destroyed. So we created an agitation movement, like civil disobedience movement kind of, and then he succeeded in it, isn't it? Whereas this guy is just writes an article here there, and some people are incorrigible. You just have to ignore them. The best way to get rid of these people is by ignoring them, because they are sometimes they are doing it to agitate you and to get that reaction, and then they will use it to um, show that see I have conquered him, or I have defeated him, like that. So Prabhupada knew who is the right candidate to get the public to attract, and who, because nobody actually cares for this guy. At the best, some of his fans will get agitated, others will ignore, even if he take him on. So that's a interesting thing that these people, he's a fool and he's a demon. So this is where again you see how Prabhupada is very expert in handling things. Some of the things he takes on, some he doesn't. That's where, as an acharya, he shows the mark that we won't know. Sometimes we will get agitated. Somebody says something, and then we will immediately go with all the flags and this and that. Nobody will care. They will say, "Oh, you don't have anything else to do. That's why you are doing this." Whereas we have so many other important things to do at home, so we cannot take flag and march and all these things for this. But when the police commissioner is doing, then what will happen is that they will have some kind of a dissatisfaction with the police department always. That usually happens. Or maximum they will have fear. Fear factor will be there. So when they are doing something, who is supposed to protect, when they are doing this, making statement like Hare Krishna is a nuisance, then they will all gather around. I think they will feel that it is my thing. They are invading our privacy. So this is one thing. If you remember, some time back, Prabhupada is doing the same thing when the land issue was there. No, he brings this up in the newspaper, and he brings it up with all the well-known people in the Mumbai, the upper middle class circle or whatever upper class circle, right? If you see, when the temple was raised, who was that? Was it Sanjay Khan who wrote an article, or someone saying that if today they destroy the temple,
Yeah,
tomorrow they
Prabhu.
will destroy our
Sanjay
house
Khan.
also?
It was Sanjay
Sanjay Khan,
Khan.
yeah, Sanjay Khan did a thing. Another one was also writing the statement. See, when such a statement article comes, that impacts the public thing more. You see, so Prabhupada tells also in one place that a good manager knows, a good warrior knows which battle to choose and which one to ignore. He knows which one to choose to fight and which one to ignore. So that is very interesting and very vivid in this thing, that we have to learn to do that. We can't argue for every single thing that people are asking questions. You should know whether that person is arguing with me or arguing with us just to agitate us and feel happy by seeing us disturbed, or someone who is doing it with an inquisitive thing, or so doing it out of ignorance. So those are all the things which we should understand before getting agitated by someone's statement. So some things naturally die. Some of the things naturally die, whatever they may say. Or if that statement doesn't die, definitely that person who says dies. So anyway, so let's read further. Mataji, carry on, Mataji. Or anything else somebody want to share?
Prabhuji, I mean, in our life also, we see that, which battle to choose, how to decide it. It becomes difficult at times. I mean, there are things going on, particularly in office, people trying to having control over things. Like we want to do something, so they have their own this thing. So whether to confront them or not to confront them, how do we decide?
Yeah, no, that comes by experience, Prabhu. That comes by listening to the voice of the Paramatma. Listening to the voice of the Paramatma. And that goes deeper into how much we are sincere in our surrender to Krishna through our sadhana and service. There is no like a technique that we can follow to do that. It's not a technique that sometimes karmis they do that. They may have sometimes it can be coming from the previous karma, sometimes can be because of maybe they have the luck on their side, like when they fire somebody, then they are glorified. When I mean, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't happen for them. Everybody has their own plus and minus. But for devotees, the thing is, when you are in the material field, when you are completely surrendered, Krishna will guide you. Krishna will guide us. That's how Prabhupada was guided fully in and out. And all our spiritual masters, you see how they are all doing their own thing in such a very frail condition or very difficult situation, health issues, everything they have, still they are going ahead, isn't it? So because they are so much surrendered, Krishna guides them. That's in the second chapter. There is a beautiful verse, I think 2.56, if I'm not wrong, in that Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, Prabhu? Just 1 second, I will show that purport. Since you asked this.
I've shared it, Prabhuji.
In the purport, 2.56 purport. See. See, such a fully Krishna conscious person, if you see that, can somebody read from there?
Such a fully Krishna conscious person is not at all disturbed by the onslaughts of the threefold miseries, for he accepts all miseries as the mercy of the Lord, thinking himself only worthy of more trouble due to his past misdeeds. And he sees that his miseries, by the grace of the Lord, are minimized to the lowest. Similarly, when he is happy, he gives credit to the Lord, thinking himself unworthy of the happiness. He realizes that it is due only to the Lord's grace that he is in such a comfortable condition and able to render better service to the Lord. And for the service of the Lord, he is always daring and active and is not influenced by attachment or aversion. Attachment means accepting things for one's own sense gratification, and detachment is the absence of such sensual attachment. But one fixed in Krishna consciousness has neither attachment nor detachment, because his life is dedicated in the service of the Lord. Consequently, he is not at all angry even when his attempts are unsuccessful. Success or no success, a Krishna conscious person is always steady in his determination.
So this is one part of it. This particular thing is like sometimes you may tell something and still they will be ignored, or when you sometimes you may not be telling where you are supposed to tell. It may be a success, it may be a failure. In either way, you as a Krishna conscious person is always steady in his determination. Now you turn to 64, Prabhu, verse number 64. This gives the conclusion of that answer to your question. And read from the Krishna conscious person is concerned only with the satisfaction of Krishna and nothing else.
The Krishna conscious person is concerned only with the satisfaction of Krishna and nothing else. Therefore, he is transcendental to all attachment and detachment. If Krishna wants, the devotee can do anything which is ordinarily undesirable. And if Krishna does not want, he shall not do that which he would have ordinarily done for his own satisfaction. Therefore, to act or not to act is within his control, because he acts only under the direction of Krishna. This consciousness is the causeless mercy of the Lord, which the devotee can achieve in spite of his being attached to the sensual platform.
So I have a question here. So it looks like a little contradiction here, right? I think we discussed this in the past, if I am not wrong. Do anyone remember that we have discussed this? Or I don't know if I discussed this in some other forum. See, he is telling that if Krishna wants, he will do something which he would not want to do also. And if Krishna does not want, he would have liked to do something that also he will not do. Okay. But in this next statement, he's saying, therefore, to act or not to act is within his control. It is supposed to be not within his control, right?
He
Yes or
acts
no?
only under the direction of Krishna, that follows, no, Prabhuji.
Correct. But
Therefore,
but you read that statement. But you read it. Therefore, to act or not to act is within his control. That H is not capital H, it's small h. Capital H means
no,
you can
that is
say Krishna.
that is, it is in our control, isn't it, Prabhu?
Who is under
But
our control?
we act. He is talking about a devotee or a Jivatma or something within his control, but that is done under the direction of Krishna.
No, under the direction of Krishna is fine. We are not bothered about it. But why he is telling? Because this devotee or this devotee is anyway completely under Krishna's control. So it should be H, capital H. No, he is acting completely under Krishna's control. Why Prabhupada is saying within his control?
No, Prabhuji, then what? Where is the question of free will?
Sorry?
Then where is the question of free will?
Free will. No, you are asking question, but I am asking this point.
No,
That why
that's
Prabhupada
why
is
it
using in
is
small
written
h.
that that this act or not to act is given to us.
No, but then he is only doing whatever Krishna is telling. No. So it should be a capital H. I read that statement again and then tell me whether my argument is valid or not. Krishna is telling you do. I don't like to do, but still I do. So he's under Krishna's control, right?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Krishna always instructs the devotees to perform their prescribed religious duties. And performing the prescribed religious duties is definitely in the control of the devotee itself.
But then he is doing as per Krishna's thing. He's not doing as per his own thing. My point is, you got my point or not? You connect the previous line with this line. This should be capital H. Yes or no, Prabhu? You agree, right? See, he is telling if Krishna wants, a devotee can do anything which is ordinarily undesirable. Now, suppose, say, Arjuna is saying, I don't want to fight the war, but Krishna is telling you fight the war. Right? He wanted his actual desire is not to fight. Right? But then Krishna is telling you fight.
So, but Prabhuji, he is doing as per which
Prabhu,
pleases
that's a
Krishna,
place
right?
where,
If
Prabhu,
he's a
isn't that the
devotee,
place or the
he's a
platform
devotee,
where the free
then
will is
only he'll get that
to
direction.
surrender to the Lord, no, Prabhu?
No, one by one,
Isn't
one
it?
by one. One by one, Varun Prabhu, one by one. And Ananda Saki Mataji was telling something. I'd like to see what she's telling, and then we'll connect here.
Yes,
Yes.
Prabhu.
Yeah,
Yes,
Prabhuji,
Mataji.
I am saying that, yeah, see, he has a free will, but at the same time, he's doing things as per the pleasure of Krishna.
No, no, I'm not. Don't bring free will at all here. Free will, that's a different concept. We are not bothered about it now.
Hare Krishna,
Understand that?
Prabhuji.
Yeah, one minute, Mataji, 1 minute.
Okay,
Ananda
so
Saki
Krishna,
Mataji, you got
so
it.
yeah, but Prabhuji, he's doing as per Krishna what pleases Krishna.
Correct. But if he say, if he's doing something what Krishna wants, then the statement should read, therefore to act or not to act is within capital H his control. You agree with me or not?
No, Prabhuji,
Why?
it will be again in the control of soul only, na.
No, but you tell me they connected with the previous. Now you why it is not there will come. But first of all, you tell me before we go to the next step. As per the previous statement, it should be capital H or small h.
It should be small h only, not capital
Why?
H.
So how many of you are saying small h? How many are saying capital H? Is it a typo or is it a, I mean correct only?
For me, it
I
is
too.
correct, Prabhuji. I'm not sure about others.
Hemavati
It should be
Mataji is saying
capital,
incorrect.
Prabhu.
It should be capital, right?
Yes, sir.
Krishna Mataji is saying
It is
okay.
small h.
Hemavati Mataji is saying small h or capital H?
Small h.
Small h. Then whoever is saying small h should tell why it should be small h.
Can I
Yes,
try,
you,
Prabhu?
yes,
Here,
yes.
here.
One by one, one by one. Nice to see the competition. Yes.
Prabhuji, in the previous sloka, we read that attachment is accepting things for one's own sense gratification.
Correct.
And so here the devotee has gone above the sense control. So his
Okay.
actions are not directed from his senses, but he is in
Hmm.
control of his actions now. So he can choose.
That is the reason for small h. The thing is, if you are completely under the control of Krishna, it's the soul that will control you, not the mind and the senses. So that H actually represents Atma. You all repeated that thing. It was coming here and there. Actually, Anand Saki Mataji mentioned the word soul. Kamalini Mataji mentioned the word Jivatma. But emphasis was not there. You understand? The Prakriti Kriyamanani Gunai Karmani Sarvashaha. Those who are in the material, those who are materialists, they are not controlled by the Atma, they are controlled by the modes. Right? To act or not is not within his control, where H represents that his represents Atma. H small h his represents Atma. Jivatma, I mean. Got it? Whereas here, because it's completely surrendered to the super soul, Paramatma, whatever he is telling, the Jivatma will be powerful enough to control the senses and mind and tell that no, this is what you should do. This is what you should not do. You got it? So the devotees are the ones who are completely in control of whatever is their activities. For example, Prabhupada can go to any place, not even sleep, and just straight away give class. And he can completely give up the attraction to money or attraction to this, any other opulences or everything. Whatever is given still is not attracted to it. Normal materials will be attracted to it, but Atma, because Atma is in full control, the senses are not taking control. They are not bossing over. You got the point? So that is the point we should understand here. Prabhupada is so careful in putting this small h here.
Yes, perfect.
And for us to, we have to ask this question, why it is not small h, it should be capital H. Because the previous statement and the statement looks contradictory.
Correct.
Right? So this answers your question, Gaurav Prabhu. Does it help? Anyone has any different?
Thank you, Prabhu.
Shiva Prabhu was raising his hand, but Kamalni Mataji, you had something to
Yes,
say?
Prabhu. Yeah, I understood, Prabhu. Mata, yeah. Now we understood. Yeah, I understood.
So this is exactly how pure devotees function. They are completely surrendered to Krishna, that normally what is not possible to do, they will do. Or not allowed to do, they will do. Now what is normally expected to do, they will not do. Why? Because they are directed by Krishna. Krishna is directing the soul. Soul is directing the senses and mind. So it goes that way. So that way, it is completely under his control, means under the Atma's control. For us now, for example, if we get sleep, if you are feeling sleepy, we would want to go and sleep. But Atma doesn't need to sleep. Atma doesn't need to eat. Atma doesn't need to drink water. You understand?
Yeah.
So when Atma is in full control, even if you're thirsty, you will continue. Like Parishit Maharaj's case, he could bypass he could conquer hunger, thirst, etc., sleep, etc. Isn't it? These are bodily necessities. These are not Atma's necessities. Atma never sleeps. Atma sleeps means Hari Bol. Right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Ram Nam Satya hai. If you have to tell in the current context, it is Ram Nam Satya hai. Right?
So according to our level of surrender, Krishna will guide us, Prabhuji. Right?
Sorry?
So according to our level of surrender, Krishna will
You just said that verse in your own words. Correct? So, Anandsaki Mataji, now is it clear for you? Or I mean, you gave the answer, but I just wanted to elaborate it to put it in context.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Yes, got it.
Right. So this is exactly how Prabhupada and all our acharyas, they all acted on this soul platform. That is why they are always self-realized, we call it. Atma Sakshatkar, we say, no? So that is the right. Any questions, comments here? So that is why Prabhupada, one case he is fighting it so vigorously, another case he just sidesteps it. Because Krishna says, Krishna gives him the direction, don't do it, just forget about this, is a nonsense case. Just ignore him and it should be all right. So completely under his control. Means Atma's control. Okay. So
same like that, Mata, that environmentalist said no about ISKCON. Go this thing. They are selling the same.
You just ignored her. She said something, and in return to that 100 crore first lawsuit filed, she kept her mouth shut. She is worried about her 100 crores. Now that is also shut. Everything is shut. Now wherever we are doing our Go Seva seminar is all continuing. I was in every form that Prabhuji asked a few, the devotee who maintains very nicely, with very few resources only is maintained nicely. So he was having some cows, and in there he just has a small place where there is Wi-Fi thing is there. So he attends cow protection seminar from Mayapur. They are giving seminars, and it's like a proper course. They have question answers, assignments, everything they have. So they are doing very nicely there. So we just ignore them and mind our thing. It'd be really good point. Thank you. So shall we continue? Shiva Prabhu, I know you raised your hand. Let's continue and read a little bit more, and then I'll hear from you. So Kamalini Mataji would like to continue.
Yes, Prabhu. On March 26, Amritlal Pandya, our old friend and life member from Vileparle, brought two sadhus from the Swaminarayan temple in Dadar to meet Srila Prabhupada. Swaminarayan followers considered themselves to be a Vaishnava sect, but generally, instead of worshipping Krishna, they worshipped only Swaminarayan, known also as Sahajanand Swami, who was their original guru and had lived from 1781 to 1830. The sect was popular mainly with Gujaratis, and their principles of conduct were similar to ISKCON's. In fact, on one morning walk, Dr. Patel had brought the Shiksha Patri, written by Swaminarayan, and read excerpts to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada had approved of most of them.
Hmm.
Prabhupada was in his room talking with Yashomati Nandan Dasa and his 70-year-old mother when Mr. Pandya brought the monks.
18-20 years ago. Yeah, Jashumatinathan Prabhu just left his body few years, 3 years ago during Corona time, 2 years ago. He's from Ahmedabad.
Ahmedabad, president of Ahmedabad.
Yes. And he is the entire Gujarat. He was so close to Narendra Modi and many other big shots in Gujarat and other places also. Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Mataji.
Dasa and his 70-year-old mother when Mr. Pandya brought the monks up to see him. When the door opened and the sannyasis saw her, they became disturbed and covered their faces. In their sect, brahmacharis and sannyasis never looked at or spoke to women in their temples. The women listened from the other side of the curtain. Bhagavata had also brought the monks upstairs. Let us wait, he told them. Prabhupada will finish soon and then you can go in. So they went back down and waited. When Jasumati Nandan and his mother had left and the monks went in to see Prabhupada, he treated them with respect. I'm so sorry, he said, but one of my leading students' elderly mother came to see me. I saw her while her son was present in the room. My sannyasi servant was also here. Oh, we do not see a woman under any circumstances, they said. Yes, I understand, Prabhupada replied. Lord Chaitanya was also very strict. The monks told Prabhupada that if any of them saw the face of a woman, he was considered to be fallen. Well, I speak to women, Prabhupada said. Does that mean that I am fallen? They didn't reply. Then he brought up the question of why the sect worshipped Swaminarayan and not Krishna. We believe that you can worship the Guru on the same level as God, the monks replied. Just like you are worshipping Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so we are worshipping Swaminarayan. Yes, Prabhupada told them, we do worship the Guru on the same level as God, but with God. We worship Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but with Radha and Krishna. So if you worship Swaminarayan with Radha and Krishna, that worship will be proper, otherwise not. That began the confrontation. They said the Swaminarayan was God. Where in Srimad Bhagavatam does it say that Swaminarayan is God? Prabhupada questioned. I have not seen. I have seen Rama, Nrsimha, Varaha and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentioned in the Bhagavatam. But where is Swaminarayan? It is in this book, they replied. Who has written that book? Who has written that book? Is it the Vedas? Is it written by Vyasa? No, they said. Such and such Swami wrote it. Oh, that's Swami. Who is he? What parampara is he from? Prabhupada was going on hammering. Bhagavata later remembered he wouldn't let them go. They didn't understand the philosophy and Prabhupada smashed them to pieces.
And with all due respect, last week only Modi opened the Swaminarayan temple in Abu Dhabi. They are having more than 700, 800 temples all over the world, all with the same
1200
thing, whatever. They are following most of the things similar, but then as we know, the Prabhupada is showing here that they are Swami is Narayan. That's why they are calling Swami Narayan.
That is. They have Krishna and Rama on the sides. They have Swaminarayan in the middle.
Right.
Yeah. So,
does anybody want to read, Prabhu?
Yes. Anyone else want to read?
May I read, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu. Prabhupada is so very strict about this, about the philosophical understanding of any subject that which you are doing. He doesn't want to go with sentimentalism. That's why even after so many years, our movement is still our movement is still is steady. And one thing will definitely happen if we don't study Prabhupada's books with that same intensity as he has written them. Then very soon we can also be deviated like this, because normally what happens is we don't want to tell anything negative about their thing. They may be following certain things, whatever, but when the philosophical point comes, they should have this basic thing intact. That is the only thing that Prabhupada is saying. You worship Swaminarayan, but make sure that you understand the philosophy properly. And whatever philosophy you are following from your own books, that should be confirmed by the Bhagavatam, by the conclusions. Bhagavatam concludes all these things very clearly, and that is where he is very particular. And even now in Rajkot and Ahmedabad and all these places, Swaminarayans are very famous in Gujarat and outside also. Many of the sannyasis come to our temples. They come worship our deities. They come and pay obeisance. They take part in the festivities. Many of them come. In Rajkot, quite a few of them come. So
even sometimes they inaugurate Rath Yatra.
They go
They
yeah,
did Aarti like that.
yeah, definitely. So yes, please, Chanchal Prabhu, please continue.
Okay, we are going to leave, Swamiji. One of the monks said. We have had enough, and they walked out. The next morning on his walks, Srila Prabhupada brought up the question of how to regard and deal with women. Why should one hate women so much? He asked Dr. Patel. We don't hate, Dr. Patel replied. We want to protect you from sex. Not to see the face, not to, because woman is the embodiment of Maya. You should be trained up that in spite of woman, you will not be agitated. Prabhupada said, that training is required. Now that training is very difficult to get. I am sorry to say. No, that training is there. We are training in that way.
This is Prabhupada.
You must have a sort of a between the objects and the indriyas, the senses. According to Swami Narayana's principle, I am fallen.
So is Prabhupada is telling this?
No, sir. Dr. Patel objected. Because I am always surrounded by young girls. No. Swami Narayan was sitting with women, but the sadhus, men should be trained up in such a way that in spite of women, they will not be agitated. In European countries, if you restrict in that way, it will be fanaticism. Nowadays, here also, that is not possible. It is simply utopian. That is all right. It is not possible. So you are doing like this. We are training, Prabhupada stated. That is the training of Chanakya Pandit, Matravat Pardareshu. There may be thousands of women, but you see them as your mother. That's it. If you become agitated by seeing even your mother, then what can be done? To avoid that trap, they avoid association with women. But these women, my disciples, are not ordinary women. They are preachers. They are Vaishnavas. By their association, one becomes a Vaishnava.
So this is how he ends that particular chapter. Any points, questions, comments here, Prabhu's Matajis? This is very interesting occasion where Prabhupada is supporting the side of the women, right? So there's one thing that people can say that it is kind of almost aligning with this modern concept of how these women dress in all kinds of ways, and they say that another, what is that? हमारे कपड़े नहीं बदलने का, आपके सोच बदलने का, say something like that, right? You should change your consciousness, not our dress. I mean, we don't have to change our dress. You have to change your consciousness. But that is actually a demoniac thing. The point what Prabhupada says is that Matavat Parada ratio. You see, everybody is mother. But just because somebody is coming in sari or completely covered, if the person is not trained to see others other than his own wife as mother, then whichever dress they come, he will continue to see them in a lusty way only. That is what Prabhupada's point is. So these people, they're only they're just doing it in a half-baked way that you give freedom to the women. They can dress anything they want. But then what is happening? They do that way so that they can enjoy. The Prabhupada is saying that this women's liberation movement is invented by the rascal man. That's what Prabhupada's point is. Nobody could appreciate it. Especially the women could not appreciate it. Anyway, there's defect on the men's side also. So, fine. So what I would suggest is, Prabhu's Mataji, this is a new chapter. Let's start maybe on Thursday, maybe. Today's Tuesday. Maybe we'll start Thursday with the new chapter. I know we have some 7 more minutes to go, but if anyone wants to share your thoughts, questions, anything, we can discuss. So I don't want to start halfway and leave it. This is a very beautiful chapter with where Lord Ram's things are brought in. So on the day of Ramnami, foundation laying things are happening. So few things about Lord Ram will come here. We'll read that in fresh day and Thursday maybe. Any questions, comments, reflections?
In Bhagavad Gita also there is a sloka, I think Chanakya Pandita says women are not to be, are not dependable, something like that. And Prabhupada asks women devotees, what do you think of this? If it is said so, it should be so. Then Prabhupada says, it does not apply to Krishna conscious women.
Yeah, no, I think he's referring to that specifically about that
Second chapter, I think.
Pita rakshati kaumare, bhatta rakshati yavane, stavire rakshati putraha, like that it comes. This is the thing of status of men, they say that when they are young, they are protected by the father, and they are in the youth, they are protected by the husband, and then when they are old, they are protected by the children, son, or whatever, right? So that is how they are protected. So when one of the devotees went and
but there is
yes,
one
Mataji?
other this thing also, Prabhuji. I do not remember exactly in which. I think Chanakya Pandita is quoted as saying, "Women are not dependable," something like that. I will just find it.
Yeah,
And
it has something to do with some other things also. We should not have faith in them and all that. But that is only those who are not Vedic in their culture.
Yeah.
Those who are Vedic, those who are God conscious, those who are respectful of they are serving their husband and their family and everything very dedicated. They don't fall under this. That's why one interesting situation was there when Prabhupada is telling women are less intelligent. One of the Mataji devotee came to Prabhupada and asked, Prabhupada, you said this, is that true? Then Prabhupada said, as long as you think you are a woman, you are less intelligent. If you think you are a devotee, there is no difference between you and, men and women. And the other important thing which I always connect, I think, I don't know if we discuss this here. There is this shloka where it says about Stri Shudra Dvijabandhu Nam. Even less intelligent people can, like the Sri Sudras and Dvijabandhus, or they can become devotees. Something like that. One shloka is there in Bhagavad Gita, right? What is that shloka? I forgot the starting of it, but I know that shloka is there. Then it was always a point of debate with many people. They keep asking that question: why Krishna is telling women is less intelligent, Shudra, all those things, right? So in response to that, apiche suduracharo va. What's that one? Index.
Prabhuji, 9.32. 9.32.
Yes, 9.32 it is. So, Mam hi pata vipashute episu papa yoneha striyo vashatata sudasti epiyanti parangatim. Yeah, those they have lower birth.
less intelligent, lower birth. In a few places it occurs there. But in response to that, actually, I was looking at this nice, beautiful this sloka. You take 10.34. If you can read the verse, Mrityu Sarva Haraschaham, Udbhavascha Bhavishyatam, Kirti Shri Vakcha Narinam, Smritir Medha Dhriti Kshama. Can somebody read the word-to-word equivalents for Medha?
Medha, intelligence.
So what is the verse translation? Can somebody read the translation?
I am all devouring death, and I am the generating principle of all that is yet to be. Among women, I am fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience.
So why Prabhupada is saying I'm among women's intelligence is me? So if he's telling that they are less intelligent in some other place, does it mean why he should say their intelligence of men is me? It means their intelligence, no, their memory is there, their steadfastness, patience, fine speech, fortune, everything is there. All these things he is saying I am the representation of all these things in women. Frank, this is where one of the Prabhupada disciples explained very nicely that there are two types of intelligence. One may be analytical intelligence, another is emotional intelligence. So one may be good at analytical intelligence and another may be good at emotional intelligence. And this is how we should understand. Like say, very simple example. Have you ever seen a man LKG, UKG teacher, kindergarten teacher? Can they control the children? One, they cannot control at home. Forget about the whole class of all Hanuman's descendants. I have to say that. So how can they control? But you see, we just get a Mataji to do that, or some lady teacher to do that. Very easily they can control, isn't it? Just giving an example, there are like that. So many things are there where there are different classes of intelligence. So one class of intelligence, Krishna may say that buddhi buddhimatam asmi. He's saying generally, it's not only specific to man there, but I'm just saying that buddhi may be analytical buddhi. Here, this may be emotional buddhi, right? So Krishna never says that women are less intelligent. One specific area he says that they may not be able to accept certain things which are like too dry, like Vedic things are too dry for them to accept. They'll just go to sleep. Like when Prahlad Maharaj was hearing, his mother slept off. When Abhimanyu was hearing inside the womb, this Subhadra, no, she slept off, isn't it? So what does he have to do with her family? She slept off. When Abhimanyu was hearing, he's a Kshatriya, isn't it? So this is the point we should understand. Prabhupada is like Krishna is so clear here. Medha. That Medha intelligence is different from that the other whatever you call it as analytical buddhi. Here in this, it's there. So this thing, whatever the intelligence that the women have, men can never have. That's why Prabhupada always said physiologically they are different. So don't unnecessarily compare apples to oranges and spoil your piece of mind. Does this help?
Yes, Prabhu.
I was quite happy to know this when I saw that, because I was also wondering why Prabhupada would discriminate. Prabhupada doesn't discriminate. Krishna doesn't discriminate. He just shows that this one, somebody has this thing, someone else has that other one. Like the skills basically there.
Actually, Maharaj also said regarding woman's quality and that she is so much
Patience.
so much patience and she has so much acceptance.
Tolerance.
Tolerance.
That pangs, Maharaj used to refer to that delivery pain, the labor pain, as the pangs of misery. Normal misery is also can be tolerated, but pangs is something which we cannot tolerate at all. And that is why they are so powerful.
Maharaj used to say that women are much more powerful than men. If men are allowed to give birth, then they will just die. They will literally cut it and take it out.
Even changing the family, right?
Yeah.
Getting
Yeah, that's a beautiful point. Yes, yes. So changing the family, yes.
Maharaj did all these things.
Yeah. When Prabhu got married, actually Maharaj told him that what is that? You have now two sets of parents.
You have now two sets of parents, so you have to serve both of them. Your wife's parents and your own parents. So this instruction was given to both of us. Many occasions, I think 3 occasions Maharaj gave.
These are all Vedic way of living, it keeps a family happy. Otherwise, always there will be fight that your father is dear to you more than my father. My father, you ignore my father, your father.
And also, why women should be protected in that context? Maharaj said that they are very easily they accept their acceptance criteria is very very nice. So whatever you say, they will accept it. So you have to be very careful totaling them to bhakti. So it is very easy to make them into.
They can get misdirected also if somebody tells them easily take it.
That is why she should be.
And for that only the men have to be more steady when in following their sadhana, their seva, their dharma. When they are really steady, and women naturally follow. Prabhupada writes in that Kunti Maharani prayers also, na? Women naturally follow. That's the sincerity of purpose is there. That is why when they are told, they just follow. They just say, okay, we should do this, let me do it. That's it. So it's a nice balance Krishna has created in this world, because the softness of handling everything
Also,
comes from them.
Maharaj says about 6-7 mothers.
Yeah, Atma Mata, Guru Patni, Brahmani, Rajapatni, then Dhenur Datri Tata Prithvi, Saptaika Matrika. These are the 7 mothers also, yeah. And all the mothers are so much tolerant and so much giving, freely giving, they don't have anything for themselves, when there's only little less food is there, and if it has to be divided among all the children, mother will give their portion also to the child and distribute it equally. But when the father is there, you take the child's portion also and eat it. Just kidding, but I'm just sometimes.
Prabhu, there is one incident also, no?
Our father will order from Zomato.
Zomato and Govindas. Govindas also Zomato.
Sorry, Prabhu. Gaurav Prabhu, you are saying something.
So, Prabhu, there is one incident now when Prabhupada was also asked this question. So, he answered very beautifully that he said, who is the universal in charge of money? So, that person said, Lakshmi Devi. Who is the universal in charge for education? She said, Saraswati Devi. And who is universal in charge for protection? Durga Devi. Then all the important departments are with women. Then how are you saying that?
Very nice.
Very true, no? It's true, really. Nice. These are things which sometimes gives a nice little interesting concepts into it. But then we understand, that for Krishna there is no difference, because Atma has no difference in that sense. It's just servitors. We are just servants. So really nice. I'm so happy that our group is churning and churning. You only read one or 2 pages today, huh? Not much really, but then so much in depth to discuss there. And see how nicely Prabhupada dealt with those Swaminarayan people also. He did not just literally call them bluff and all that, call their bluff. But he was nicely respecting them for whatever they are doing and everything. But when the question of philosophy came, he did not hold back his punches. Right. So that is important, because what happens is these things will stay for a long time. And because whatever is discussed, when it is put into writing, it stands the test of time, especially when it is coming from a pure devotee. And later you will see, because of these only, In many of the Swaminarayan temples, I've seen, and also that they put jeans pant and jeans t-shirt and all that to Krishna and Radha deities there, and they have a different. Those are all apasampradaya, like putting all those kinds of dresses for the deities, and which are not really Vedic standards are not there. So sometimes what happens, even in our thing also, in our temples also, wherever they are not following Prabhupada strictly, they tend to have these deviations, that can creep in. So they sometimes put Santa Claus thing on Krishna, put beard on Krishna. When you put Santa Claus, naturally you should have to have a beard. And then they put beard on Krishna. So those things were happening a few years ago, and GBC had to come down hard on such the Apasampradayik thing and said, no, this should not be done. So that's where studying the Shastras, especially from pure devotee when he's in action, is very, very important. Otherwise, just a few days, few years are required to deviate completely from the main path of pure devotion. Okay, stop with this, Prabhu's Mataji's. Thank you so much. Wonderful association. Once again, I'm extremely sorry that I just told in last minute and still we could all gather together. And we will connect again tomorrow, Krishna willing, we'll see. I will inform you during the day about glories of Nardamani. It's been a while since we discussed Nardamani, right? So we'll continue with that. I will tell you around noon time or so, I'll get an idea whether we can have the session tomorrow. Thank you so much, Prabhu Mataji. Hare Krishna. Have a great time. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai Shri Janata Pattivasmanda ki Jai Sai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you.
Panchavapadramashya Kripasthivamshya Patithanam Paramabhyo.